Welcome back to another episode of Sweet Millionaire Formula, the podcast where we mix money goals with Hollywood drama and we drop gems like it's hot. I'm your host, Courtney, and today we're bringing you 3 segments: Spill the Wealth, Stack Your Paper, and Millionaire Moves. So grab that drink or your pen because guess what? We're about to get into it. New year, new net worth. Everybody's talking about the new year, new me. You know me, I'm leaving all that behind, all that baggage. What's the black woman coming up the stairs with all the baggage she leaving behind? New year, new me. But this year, we're talking about new year, new net worth. Because as resolutions fade by February and March, the systems of creating wealth can compound, and you can start this year off doing methods in your habits, in your spending, and your plans that will set you up for a trajectory to have a compounded interest at the end of the year that reflects your automatic systems that you use to build a new net worth. This year, we're not just making a manifestation, but we're using measurements to tailor and to measure our growth. If your money isn't growing, it's time to ask, why? Segment 1, stack your paper. This theme for today is about resetting your money identity. Before you go chasing money, you need to understand that money you already touch. What money do you have in your wallet? What money do you have in your savings? And what money do you have in your Fidelity account? Your net worth is a reflection of your habits, not your hustle. Because I believe that money is an attraction game. And when you put yourself in a position to attract money, there's no need to go chasing your dreams. There's no need to go hustling and doing 6 different side hustles to create one entity of success. I believe if you get the one thing right, the overflow from that one thing being right will overflow into your life. Like, my cup runneth over. It's because when he touched the head, the whole body and the children and generations that are falling under you are going to be blessed. But you have to get the one thing right. And today I wanted to talk about how if you know your numbers, then that will tie in your relationship and your value that you have for your financial education and your financial literacy in order for it to be a breakthrough in your life and not a hazard. Finances should be fun. Finances should be a part of a reflection of who you are. And I believe just like black designers know their margins and athletes know their stats, you need to know yours, your income, your debt, your savings, your investments. No, we're not just vibing out and I'm with the vibes. Oh, I'm going here. Do you see me there? I'm watching my picture. Do you like that? No, we're not just going with vibes. We're going with straight facts. And one of the things that really turned my life around 3 years ago when I started my financial literacy journey. Yes, of course, reading books, but I also put the education into action. I was able to open up my Navy Federal account, and within a year of being with them, I have built up a relationship with Navy Federal. I feel like you need to have important brokerage accounts, but you also need to have banking methods that are strong. You can't just like build a house with no foundation. And I feel like your credit unions, not banks. I mean, if you want your money sitting in a bank making 0.01%, be my guest and go ahead and Bank America. Be my guest and go ahead Wells Fargo it out. Go ahead Truist. Go ahead Little SunTrust. Go ahead, little BDB. Go ahead, hon. Because guess what? I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you from putting your money in your Bank of America, baby. But if you look at them savings rates and your high interest rates, your high yield savings accounts, they're not high yield at all with Bank of America. They're not high yield at all with Wells Fargo. They're not high yield at all with SunTrust and Truist. But people have no financial confidence, and so they have a small basket to eat from. And I believe you should have a harvest and pastures. Now, we're talking about two totally different types of appetite. Pastures and a basket of fruit, a basket of bread. I can't even say that Bank of America is giving you a basket of bread. They're giving you a basket of rocks. Okay, you got your money sitting in there when you can have your money in a Navy Federal account, a credit union, account that has a 4% APY, which is a high yield savings account that is making your money dividends on the dollar each and every month. And when you're looking at that money 13 months from now, the money that you're looking at doesn't look the same when you put it in the first time. And the benefit of a high yield savings account right now, like when you get your check, your next check, putting $500 into a high yield savings account, putting another $500 into a CD bond, and then opening up another account with another credit union and building the same system so that one of your banks is having your money for bills on auto pay. The next, you have a vehicle and system set up for you to have your high yield savings accounts. And the third is set up for you to be able to make investments and have a financial portfolio that is a reflection of the value that you placed on your financials, right? And so when we're talking about a new net worth, we're not just talking about you being able to show your money or believe that you have money, because having money and have a financial sense are two totally different things. And too many times we confuse the two. High earners can still be broke. Look at how many Black creators flipped one check into ownership because they focus on net worth and not lifestyle. This year, stop saying, I'm bad with money. That's not humility. That's a ceiling that you're placing on yourself. Segment 2, Spill the Wealth. Now, I want to highlight Black women, especially in beauty and fashion, because I feel like these are two fields that we dominate automatically, but the generational wealth that's supposed to be attached to our power in these sectors doesn't always reflect in our bodies, in our health, because too many times, especially working in a salon as a cosmetologist, too many times I'm surrounded by women who are unhealthy. They're standing on their feet all day, knees crackling, overweight because they're eating fast food all the time, and they don't have a real plan set for themselves as far as the true nature of building generational wealth from beauty and fashion. Part of the reason is there's no plan. I need you to go buy a planner. As a man, think of so is he. Go get you some sticky notes. I'm gonna give you guys my monthly budget worksheet that I've been using for over a year now that has shaped my finances into multiple streams of income. And what I need for you to understand is that you need to turn your culture into capital. You need to have authority and not seniority. Oh, I've been doing this for 25 years. Okay, hon. And you're going to die standing there 25 years later because you don't have no vehicle, no plan, no planner. How many of y'all have a planner this year? Did you already plan for 12 months? Maybe it's already done here. But you can hear, right? I know y'all hear the clarity, right? Oh, okay. We're bringing the audience and we are feeding the people because all of the riffraff and the lies and the noise that comes from the world could really be stifling your financial growth because you're emotionally spending, you're emotionally tied to brands and labels, and you've been put under a pressure as a Black woman to carry yourself at such a high level. From your hair that you wear is being $500, $1,000 every 2 weeks. You have to get this, look, and then you have the societal pressures of, I gotta be having a snatch body. I need to go save me $10,000 so I can get a BBL, and all these different pressures that come from the outside that really, in retrospect, do not match the alignment of your purpose and your plan that you should have set for yourself. I feel like one thing that Rihanna did do is she didn't just sell makeup. She sold inclusion. That's why Fenty became a $1 billion empire. She understood the market before the market caught up. Black fashion founders, from Telfair to independent designers, the ownership is the flex. They didn't just get featured, they built brands. And with Telfar in particular, he built a following, a community of inclusivity. And I feel like alignment, plans, purpose, and finances all are tools that have to kind of work together. Your time, your talent, your tools. If you have the time to do hair, then you should have the talent to no, if you have the time to do hair and you have the talent, you also need the tools to back you up. It's like a layered system of processing and success that allows you to be creative, but you also reaping the benefits of that creativity. And you don't have to separate the two, but all of it should be in alignment. And when you think about beauty in a sense that, Madam CJ Walker, when she started her brand, she started selling her brands for 50 cents, standing in the local markets, standing in she went hand and foot, door to door, selling the experience, selling the product. And then once she elevated and had a system on go where she could allow her system of going out and selling to be replicated, and she had women around her who were willing to not only use the products but sell the products, teach the products, and they adopted the same system as her. That's when you saw Madam CJ Walker go into buying a factory. That's when you see Madam CJ Walker going into buying an estate with George, the Rockefellers, on the same property as the Rockefellers. That's when you see her investing into institutions and creating I believe she created the MLM category for building success, because when do we not create everything? Until somebody proves me different, and until somebody does a case study, I'm going to say that Madam CJ Walker is the forerunner and the blueprint for the system of reciprocity and being able to use your voice and how you tailor products and how you value products and being able to make money from them, but not only being able to make money from them, putting yourself in a position of servitude so that somebody else can reap the benefits and replicate the same system. Too many times we are just standing in the salon, or we're just, using the products, and we're not being able to generate funds from our talent. And I feel like if you're missing one, then you're missing all, because having a talent is just not enough anymore, and having a time just not enough anymore. I'm not trading my time for money. No, there's not enough money in the world that I would trade for my time. And so when I can make systems and I can make waves for my financial literacy to be a infrastructure for a reflection of my life. If you have your finances in order, you have goals. If you have your goals in order, you're not just going to be somewhere idle just trying to make some money. There is no lifetime where money is going to be ever enough made for you to enjoy the capacity of your talent. Woo! Girl, you better preach. It's not. I mean, I've seen, and I told my daughter this the other day, I was watching a show on Netflix called Owning Manhattan. And I think it's The Wolf of Wall Street or something like that. I can't remember what episode. I think it's like the 5th or 6th episode. But this lady that works for Serhant Properties, the real estate company, she was like crying because she put on a musical to sell an apartment, if that makes any sense. You got to watch the episode to see what I'm talking about. But she put a musical on in a small little New York City apartment. The house is probably worth $3 or $4 million. I can't remember the exact, but at the end of her filming the commercial, she had a talk with the leader of Serhant, the owner, Ryan, and they were having this dialogue back and forth, and she started crying, and he looked like he wanted to cry too, because she was like, I love theater so much. I love it. But I have to make money. I'm in real estate. And he looked at her and he was like, listen, if you don't figure it out for yourself, I understand you like theater. I understand you want to perform on Broadway. That's cool. But more importantly, this house needs to be sold. And he said, your passion is burning from both ends. You have a candle that's burning from both ends. You're going to, if you're going to not pull this way or pull that way, you're just going to, dissolve. And he was letting her know that this house needs to be sold at the end of the day. I understand that you want to be in theater. And she was just crying. And he had it's not that he didn't have compassion for her, because in his confessional, he was like, I was her 20 years ago. I came to New York City to be on Broadway, and I became this, I had to make money in order to live and to eat. And now, 20 years later, Um, he has, the Sirhan property, international property and things like that. But her crying was just a sign. She was like, I have to make this money. And I can only imagine that you would trade your life, 10, 20, 15, 20 years of your life for money. That is not true. In the name of Jesus, it's not true. I would never allow my audience to believe that it's okay to just trade your life and time for money. You have to have purpose, alignment, and literacy to understand that um the way that you evolve is to grow in a spiral up. And the techniques and tools that we provide here at Sweet Millionaire Formula are supposed to ignite you as a stream of motivation that, oh, okay, you know what, I can change my mindset. You know what, I do got $20, or wherever it is that you start. But I've watched my career and salary turn my life into $50,000, $20,000 credit limits, $50,000, and it's like I attracted that. I didn't go out and have to work and labor for $50,000, $70,000, but it attracted itself to me because I spiraled up. Let me mention this really quick. Your everyday life matters so much to your family and to God. And I believe that you have to be an answer more than you want to be a problem. You have to have a full cup more than you go into a job with an empty cup. Because if you can solve a problem or tell a story, then you have ability to make money there. Segment 3, millionaire moves. Let's talk about investing. And let's talk about how the prize picks and it's how volatile these companies are with preying on your money, preying on your downfall for their gain and their capital. They have a bottom line at Prize Picks. They have a bottom line at King's Draft Books or whatever that's called. And if you really want to really get down to what those things are, they are like this. They're noise. It's noise in your ear. It's noise in your face. Who wants to sit in their face and lose and be distracted to the point of brokenness, to the point of waiting for a parlay to possibly hit? You are not the creators of these companies. It's fixed. It's a fixed fight. And they have paid players. Yeah, you see Kevin Hart. Yeah, you may see it featured on different podcasts for it to be mentioned. Yeah, you may see commercials with people mentioning these types of volatile money drainers. That's what I'm gonna call them. But it's really, in reality, it's just noise. And so one athlete that I really think has invested beyond the game, and even with the case that just happened with Michael Jordan having to sue a company for, I believe it was over $3 billion or $1 billion to that effect, is that when you invest your money beyond just spending it, then you create an opportunity for you to have streams of income. We know that. LeBron James didn't just play basketball, he bought equity. That's the difference between income and legacy. Money should outlast talent. Your money should work even when you're tired. So your move this week is open one account that grows without you babysitting it. Do you get that? Open one account that grows without you babysitting it. Means it's automatic. Every single week, $100 is going into your Roth IRA. Oh, why a Roth IRA? Because a Roth IRA is tax deductible once it goes in. So if your Roth IRA in 40 years generates $1.3 million, then you know you're likely to get 95% of that. I would say 98% because, baby, that fidelity don't play. But you're able to see the fullness of your investing on the back end with these type of brokerages, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, and Vanguard. You're able to see the fullness of your investment. And I believe with you having a Roth IRA versus a regular 401k, the 401k, you can get to the 1-3 million in the next 40 years, and then half of that will be taken out in taxes. And I don't think that you're understanding that inflation, if it's already up 20, 30, 40% from 10 years ago, then you can only expect the inflation to triple again in the next 40 years. So it's like, you don't want to have a Roth IRA, you don't want to have a 401k that is going to be snatched in half. How are you going to live at 70, pay your mortgage or whatever it is that you deem have your goals for? But how would you enjoy the experience of living a long life if half of the stuff that you work for your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s is taken away from you because of taxes? That's why it's good to have financial literacy and tune into Sweet Millionaire Formula. Follow us on Sweet Millionaire Formula at Instagram. Follow us on Sweet Millionaire Formula on YouTube. And coming soon will be our website and our landing page, Sweet Millionaire Formula. We'll have Zooms. We're going to have PDFs that's going to be dropping. And then we'll overall have a community where we can have live events and build this financial infrastructure together. But I believe investing beyond what you can see is the power of financial literacy, is because you have a faith is substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. And so when you're taking your one account that you're opening this week and not touching it for a full year, and you're taking $500 from your check each and every week and you're investing it directly automatically into your Roth IRA, if you're taking 13 months to invest in a 4% APY high yield savings account, then you're setting yourself up for investments that allow you to have a breakthrough when you have those plans and you're ready to invest in that scarf line or that hat line, or you want to produce your own journals, you want to write books. You have a wealth of talent inside of you that are answers. But if you negate and neglect the power of who you are because you want to stay muffled with sports betting, you want to buy all the latest trends, you want to be on TikTok shop, you want to not have anything set and goals for yourself, then you're going to cut off and restrict the flow and streams that are naturally coming to you as you get older, as you get wiser, as you mature. And we know that when you plant seeds, nobody's planning for it to be one little seed. We're planning for it to be a harvest. And so I urge you, audience, new year, new net worth, to set your financial sense and financial goals in place so that you can be an elevation and a reflection this time next year of the decisions that you made on your new year and your new net worth.